Jenna shivered. The air conditioning in the store was always freezing. She tugged her sweater tighter around herself. It was her first week working the night shift at PriceMart, a sprawling big box store that seemed to stretch on forever. The aisles, now deserted and dimly lit, took on an eerie, almost sinister feel. She preferred the daytime bustle. At night, the shadows seemed to dance. Her stomach rumbled. Jenna headed to the break room for a snack. It was located at the back of the store, past the toy aisle and the sporting goods section. Each step echoed in the silence. A chill ran down her spine. She felt like she was being watched. As she passed aisle 7, the mannequin display, she glanced at the unblinking eyes of the figure modeling a summer dress. Its plastic smile seemed to widen in the dim light. Jenna shuddered. It felt way too real. She hurried past, her heart pounding. Reaching the break room, she quickly grabbed her snack and left, eager to get back to the familiar routine of stocking shelves. Still, the image of the mannequin lingered in her mind. Its vacant stare seemed to follow her. The next few nights were uneventful. Jenna settled into a routine, finding comfort in the rhythm of her work, yet she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, especially when she was near aisle 7. The silence of the store seemed to amplify every creak and groan of the building. One night, as she was restocking the cereal aisle, she heard a soft thump. It seemed to come from aisle 7. Her heart skipped a beat. She froze, listening intently. Silence. Maybe it was just her imagination, she thought, or the building settling. Still, she couldn't shake off the uneasy feeling that something was amiss. She decided to avoid aisle 7 altogether. Later that night, while taking a break, Jenna overheard some of her co-workers whispering about the store. They spoke of strange occurrences, objects moving on their own, and a general sense of unease. One of them even mentioned the mannequin in aisle 7. Jenna's blood ran cold. She pretended not to hear, but their hushed tones sent shivers down her spine. A few nights later, Jenna experienced something that sent a chill right through her. She was working in the electronics aisle when she noticed something out of the corner of her eye. It was the mannequin from aisle 7, but it wasn't in aisle 7. It was at the end of the electronics aisle, partially hidden in the shadows. It seemed to be staring directly at her. Jenna froze, her breath catching in her throat. She blinked, sure it was just a trick of the light. But when she looked again, the mannequin was gone. Shaking off the fear, she convinced herself it was just her imagination playing tricks on her. The store was getting to her. Everyone knew the old stories about the place being haunted. She tried to focus on her work, but a knot of unease tightened in her stomach. That night, as she was leaving, she glanced towards aisle 7. The mannequin was back in its usual spot, but something seemed different. It seemed closer to the aisle, as if it had taken a step forward. Jenna hurried out of the store, her heart pounding in her chest. The next day, Jenna arrived for her shift to find her co-workers huddled together, whispering. They fell silent as she approached. When she asked what they were talking about, they hesitated, exchanging nervous glances. Finally, one of them, an older woman named Martha, pulled Jenna aside. "You need to be careful, honey," she said, her voice low. "This store, it's not right. Things happen here, things people can't explain." Jenna's heart sank. She had hoped the rumors weren't true, but Martha's worried expression told her otherwise. She decided to confide in her, telling her about the moving mannequin. Martha listened intently, her face grim. "The mannequin, you say?" she whispered. "That's her. That's how it starts. Small things, easy to ignore, but it gets worse, honey. Much worse." Martha's words sent shivers down Jenna's spine. She felt a growing sense of dread. Something was terribly wrong, and she was in danger. The night of the storm, Jenna felt a sense of foreboding as she started her shift. The wind howled outside, and the flickering fluorescent lights cast long dancing shadows across the aisles. Rain lashed against the windows, creating an eerie soundtrack to her fear. She tried to focus on her work, but Martha's warnings echoed in her mind. The store seemed different tonight, even more menacing. The air was thick with anticipation, as if something was about to happen. As the storm raged outside, Jenna found herself drawn to aisle 7. She couldn't help herself. It was as if an invisible force was pulling her towards it. As she approached, she noticed something strange. The mannequin was no longer in its usual spot. In fact, it was gone. Panic surged through her. She spun around, searching the darkened aisles. Where was it? Suddenly she heard a noise behind her, a soft shuffling sound, slow and deliberate, like footsteps. She whirled around. There it was, standing at the end of the aisle, shrouded in shadows, the mannequin, but this time it was different. Its head was tilted at an unnatural angle, and its plastic face seemed twisted into a grotesque mockery of a smile. Its eyes, once blank and vacant, now seemed to burn with a cold, malevolent light. Jenna gasped, her blood turning to ice. This was not a trick of the light. This was not her imagination. The mannequin was alive. It took a step towards her, its movements jerky and unnatural, like a puppet whose strings were being pulled by an unseen hand. Terror lent speed to Jenna's feet. She turned and ran, her heart pounding in her chest. She had to get out of there. She had to escape, but the mannequin was faster. It glided effortlessly over the slick floor, its footsteps silent but relentless. Jenna's terrified screams echoed through the empty store as she dodged displays and sprinted down aisles, the mannequin in hot pursuit. She could hear it getting closer, its ragged breathing close behind her. She risked a glance back. The mannequin's face was a mask of rage, its plastic lips drawn back in a silent snarl. It moved with an eerie grace, its limbs contorting at impossible angles. Jenna swerved, her heart pounding, and ducked behind a display of gardening tools. She peeked out. The mannequin had stopped, its head swiveling back and forth as it searched for her. She had to get help. She had to reach the phone. Taking a deep breath, Jenna made a dash for the front of the store. She could see the outline of the exit doors, a beacon of hope in the darkness. But the mannequin was closing in. Jenna's hand was on the doorknob when she felt a cold, clammy hand close around her wrist. She screamed, kicking and struggling, but the grip was too strong. She was dragged back into the darkness, her screams swallowed by the storm raging outside. No one heard her cries for help. The next morning, the storm had passed, leaving behind an eerie calmness. The first employees arriving for the day shift found the store in disarray. Displays were overturned, products littered the aisles, and a chill hung in the air. Of Jenna, there was no sign. She had vanished without a trace. Her co-workers searched frantically, but their calls went unanswered. The police were called, but their investigation yielded nothing. Jenna was gone. Days turned into weeks, and the mystery of Jenna's disappearance deepened. The police had no leads, no suspects, no explanation. The case went cold. Life at Supermart slowly returned to a semblance of normalcy, though the memory of Jenna's disappearance lingered like a shadow. Then, one morning, a new mannequin arrived. It was placed in aisle 7, replacing the one that had gone missing. The employees unpacking it gasped. This new mannequin was different. It wore Jenna's favorite sweater, the one she had been wearing the night she disappeared, and pinned to the sweater, a chilling sight, Jenna's name tag. The mannequin stood silently in the aisle, its painted eyes staring blankly ahead, a haunting reminder of the mystery that continued to grip Supermart. The mystery of aisle 7.